What's up, guys? Eric here on Dogs of Addiction. One more thing I wanted to talk about today was I was in a meeting and we talked about, I met a lot of people. I'm not going to say what, but we'll just say I was in some meeting at a house, and we talked about the relationship for people who, whether they're children of alcoholics or addicts, or they're currently an addict and they have children. And I had two really amazing perspectives. My perspective was, sadly, my dad had been an addict since I can remember. And it went from alcohol to cocaine and weed to 10 years later, full-blown alcoholism, crack cocaine addiction, someone's punching a heavy bag down in my basement, so if you guys hear that. But it went pretty far down there, and he never came back. As a kid, I always would pray that my dad would get help and get better, and I always thought he could. But by the time I was 14, 15, I just knew that was never going to happen. And 15 years later, it's still true. He never, I think he tried. I remember visiting my dad in halfway houses and stuff, and I think he definitely tried, but it just was never enough. And now he's almost 60, and his heart's failing, and he's still addicted to everything: opiates, crack, meth, all of that. We're on good terms now, and I've been able to do a lot of work and heal those traumas. But where I was getting at is, I told some of my people, the people that I was talking to, that I really respected them for getting clean and how beautiful it is that they can have relationships with their kids. And then another friend of mine had another perspective where he was in my dad's shoes, and it was actually really nice to hear, where he had kids when he was really young, and he didn't want them because he was so into his addiction and stuff that he didn't want to be responsible for kids, and he hated that he had kids. And I like to think that that's how my dad felt. And the guy said that he loves his kids now, and it's a different relationship, but he wanted to offer a different perspective, is that not everyone gets clean and is happy that they're a parent. And there's a lot of people who are in their early 20s and stuff who resent having children because a lot of times you're not really ready for it. So I just kind of wanted to open up a discussion. You guys can talk about it amongst the comments of, what was your relationship with your parents' addicts? Are you a current addict who's got sober and has kids? This is something I wanted to talk about, and me getting treatment and being sober now for 6 months, I'm really hoping that at some point, I know at some point I'll be ready to have children, and I still have some work to do. But I almost had a kid when I was 18. There was a miscarriage, and then my recent person I was with wanted to have children, but I knew I wasn't ready because we both were addicts, and I just knew what that would do. I was not going to put a child through that until I got my shit together. And that's kind of my perspective, but some people aren't as lucky as that, and they have children when they're not ready, and those children are affected. And for those of you who are those parents, you can always make amends in those relationships. You can rebuild those relationships with your kids. It's never too late. Don't feel ashamed or feel like you're a terrible parent. You're an addict. Your addiction is not a choice, and you had some things you needed to work through, and there's still hope for you. So I just would love the comments to go off, and everyone open discussion about what I'm talking about. And thank you guys for watching. I'm gonna end this video.